Well, good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to provide a little bit of information about project BR-20-C1, which is a project on 3rd Avenue, 11th Street, and 12th Street in the city of Fargo. Just a brief agenda. We'll go through some staff introductions, and then we'll go over a project overview, talk a little bit about special assessments, and then there will be time for questions. Just a brief introduction. Tonight with us, we have Scott Olson, the project manager for this project. Also have Doug Durgan with our special assessments department. He can provide any answers about special assessments. And myself, Tom Knockmus, assistant city engineer. Also on this project, the city of Fargo will be doing the inspection and project management, but Apex Engineering did the design for the project. And we also have Brent Mouche with Apex Engineering if anyone has any questions. So again, project location, what's outlined here in red is where we'll be working. So on 3rd Avenue from University Drive to 10th Street North, also on 12th Street from 3rd Avenue to 4th Avenue, and on 11th Street from 2nd Avenue to 4th Avenue. So what we'll be doing is a full roadway reconstruction, so the road will be fully reconstructed. Also be doing water main replacement and water service replacement. We'll be doing sanitary sewer main and sewer service replacement. We'll also be addressing the condition of the storm sewer, replacing driveway approaches, and then also making sidewalk improvements as necessary throughout the project. So the timeline and duration of the project, it is being bid next week, February 19th. The start date isn't determined yet, but most likely it will be early May. We won't know that until we have a contractor and start having conversations with that contractor. Completion, we're anticipating probably early October at this point for the project. So the time and duration, we do have it separated into a number of different phases, and the intent here is to maintain access to all the properties and provide as much on-street parking as possible throughout the project. So phase 1 is broken into 2 parts, 1A and 1B. It's kind of the bookends of phase 2 on 3rd Avenue. So that project, or that phase, 1A and 1B will be concurrent, and the contractor will have 35 total days to do that work. And then they'll move into phase 2, where they'll have 60 days to do that work. Phase 3A is the portion on 12th Street north of 3rd Avenue, and then the portion on 11th Street south of 3rd Avenue. And those will be going on concurrently as well. And the contractor will have 50 days to do that work, and then they'll move into phase 4. Where they have 35 days, and phase 4 is the portion of 11th Street between 3rd and 4th Avenue. So just some details about the project. The contractor will maintain access to all properties during construction. Again, that's why we have it phased the way we do. Pedestrian access will be maintained on at least one side of the street at all times. On-street parking will be maintained in phases that are not under construction. And temporary water pipes will be installed to maintain water service. We'll do our best to not impact any trees unless we absolutely can't avoid it. We have tried to take a number of methods to be sure that we don't impact trees, but again, that's a last resort that trees could be removed on the project. Some sidewalk will be replaced and widened throughout the project, and then boulevards will be graded and reseeded. So this is just an example of what temporary water main is. You'll see these kind of yellow pipes running adjacent to the sidewalks along the project corridor. Here in this picture, you can kind of see a black hose heading up towards the building. And again, that's how a lot of these properties will be fed for temporary water. So the project cost, just over $1.8 million is what's estimated. There are some fees and a contingency that we add to the project cost, so that total cost becomes about $2.4 million. So this is the breakdown. About $400,000 is funded by wastewater utility, about $260,000 from water utility. Prairie dog funds or state funds is just over $1 million, and then special assessments about $700,000. So special assessments makes up about 30% of the total project funding. A little bit more on special assessments. The water main, including the water service installation, is capped at $60 per front foot. Sanitary sewer with the sewer service replacement is capped at $60 per front foot. There are no special assessments associated with storm sewer for this project. And then street reconstruction really depends on what the category is, whether it's single family or a tier of the MR or zoned as DMU. So this is traditionally what the cost for those different categories are. Like I mentioned earlier, we are using state funds that helps buy these down. Single family MR Tier 1 and 2, it buys down by 50%. MR Tier 4 and DMU, it buys down by 25%. So it's ultimately these costs, what's shown in the very far right. So for a single family for the street reconstruction, it's $42.50 per front foot. And with that, that's the end of the presentation, and we'll just open it up for questions. Thank you.